Hey, it's Scott here again from the Stephen Scott Rugby Show. Just giving a bit of a review over the game played in the weekend. The Pumas taking on the All Blacks, and the Pumas. Something we said after South Africa, the Springboks beat the All Blacks. We said I've got to feel sorry for the team who takes on the All Blacks, and unfortunately, the Puma boys, the Puma brothers. Sorry to the Puma brothers, but you copped a bit of a beating from the mighty All Blacks and played well. Pumas played well. I think they had a game plan, but unfortunately for the Puma boys, that the All Blacks obviously sniffed that out, and they saw and they felt what was coming, and you cop the wrath of an angry All Black squad. Looking at that game, I think one of the big things for the All Blacks was getting a whole new, fresh look to the squad. And in the front row, we had that new front row of Karl Tuinukuafe, Ofatunga Fasi, and also Cody Taylor. That was something nice and fresh that I saw from that game in the weekend. And what they played well. All three of those players really stood up. We saw in that scrum, how often do we see a Puma scrum get pushed back? Not too often, and in the weekend they honestly got crushed. I think there was about four turnover penalties in the scrum that the Pumas, they just did not have an answer. And we look back to that game that was played in I think it was Nelson, and the Pumas were pretty tough in that game. They still got pushed back, but they were a little bit tougher in that game. Come to this game, it was a whole new look, and that front row of the All Blacks, they were awesome. A few hours before the game, before kickoff, unfortunately for Luke Whitelock, who was penciled to play at number 8, he got a bit of a stomach illness, a bit of a virus in his stomach, and so he couldn't take the field. Ardie Savea comes off the bench, plays at number 8. How good did Ardie look in that number 8 jersey? Wow, he was awesome. I personally thought he had a brilliant game. He was a standout for me in that number 8 jersey. Are we going to see Ardie go back into that number 8 jersey at any time? Don't know. With Kieran Reid missing, Kieran Reid's the captain. Kieran Reid is the form number 8. But it was really nice to see somebody different in that number 8 jersey. Not saying that Ardie's going to be playing in that jersey anytime soon, but it was nice to see. Sam Cane had a great game. Also did Shannon Frizzell. I thought Shannon Frizzell, he played a blinder in that game in Nelson against the Pumas this weekend. Again, he had his opportunities. He took his opportunities. And I think we're going to see Shannon Frizzell coming a little bit more come this week, maybe against the Springboks, and in the end of year tour. It was good to see Shannon Frizzell really have a good game in that. Also, TJ was his voicey self again, having his Hurricanes teammate Beauden Barrett on the outside. How good was Beauden Barrett? Again, we saw in that South African game, his kicking was terrible. In this game in Argentina, I think he was 4 from 4. I think he was 4 from 4, or maybe even 6. Sorry, I think it was 6 from 6. And those were from the sideline also. So Beauden Barrett, he's been copying it in the press, and so the only way to beat the press and to beat all the haters was to go out there and practice as hard as he could, and looks like he done that really well. How good was Sonny Bill Williams? To see Sonny Bill Williams back on the field, he was a little bit rusty at the start there. Sonny had a few little glitches at the start of the game, but as he warmed into the game, we saw why Sonny Bill Williams is one of the best number 12s in the game at the moment, and has been for a long time. And for those who are haters on Sonny Bill Williams, there's nothing to hate. The guy can do anything. The guy's magic. The guy has got X Factor. He's got school. He has a lot of pride for that All Black jersey, and it was really nice to see Sonny back out in the field. And I hope he gets a run this week against the Boks in South Africa. Also, It was nice to see Rico Ioane get a few touches of the ball. He got a couple of tries. Ryan Crotty again. I thought he got another head knock, but he came out of it pretty good. So that whole backline played awesome. Moisaki, Ben Smith. Mr. Reliable, and it was really nice to see the boys really giving it a go out there in the back line. I was really impressed also with our bench that we brought on. Tim Perry and Angus Tarvell with his debut game. He had an awesome game. Jumped on the field, like Steve said in the preview of this game was Angus Tarvell didn't even have a Super Rugby contract at the start of the year. I remember talking to him here on the Sunshine Coast. They come to play the Brumbies in a pre-season game, and I said to Angie, "Bro, how you going? What's your story for the year?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just here helping out just through injuries." And then look at this, we're in October now, and he got a bench call up to play against the Pumas. What a great year and a great season that he's had, and nobody deserves it more than Angus Tarvell. So congratulations, Angie, on having a good game in the weekend. Jackson Hemmerpaw, he came off the bench. He actually came into the squad when Luke Whitelock went down crook. Richie Moanga gets his time on the field, and it was really nice to see Richie. He had a little nice deft touch there on his when I think it was Anton Leonard-Brown scored his try. Richie Moanga gets the ball, looks straight ahead. He beats his first man, puts the ball on his left foot. Nice little grubber into the goalpost and the in goal. Anton Leonard-Brown scoops it up, scores a try. Yeah, it was really nice to see Richie Moanga get a bit of a run there on Sunday morning. Also, it was Patrick Tuipulotu, the unsung hero, who was he wasn't even looked at for the All Black squad as he was going to go overseas, but obviously Steve Hansen sees something in him that he still likes, and if anything, Patrick Tuipulotu hopefully will go in that World Cup squad next year to Japan. But overall, the All Black boys had a really good game. They really dominated the Pumas, especially in the front row. And as soon as the ball was getting out nice and quick out to the back, we're getting the front foot advantage. TJ and Bodie were able to kind of dictate play of what they wanted to do in that game. All Blacks, out of 10, for me, they had an 8 out of 10 game. They really played well, really put the foot on the pedal. They knew when to put it down and to just really execute their plays really well. And to the Springbok brothers, you gave us a good run the last game in Wellington. In fact, you beat us, and we remember that quite clearly. So this coming, I think it's Saturday night in is it Loftus? I think we're playing you guys. Be ready. Unfortunately for you guys, I know 5 of your top players had to go back to England to club rugby. That's not fair. That's not fair that the country's not going to get their best players on the pitch to play in a big test match. I think the world are waiting for this game on Saturday night. I'm waiting to see how we go against the Box, and I know it's going to be a totally different attitude, totally different ball game. It's in South Africa. Right now, the South African Springboks they've got the advantage. I think they have the wood on us coming into this game. So stay listening, stay viewing. We know we're up for a big game against the Springboks this coming Saturday night in South Africa. Am I going to give a prediction? Not yet. I don't know. I want to see who the squad is that Steve Hansen puts out there. But thank you to the Pumas for giving us a bit of a training run. And we're going to take that training run and that momentum into South Africa. And hey, get ready, Springboks. We're coming for you. See you guys.